Okay, here's a really good question. It's an x to the fourth polynomial, so I know that there could be a possibility of four zeros. There could be three or two or one or zero, but at most it could have four zeros. So I'm looking for four if I can get them. The other thing I know about this, if I were to graph this, that it's 4, so it's even, so it's a right side up one, and it has to have three bumps. So one bump, two bump, three bumps. Oh, let's see, 4, so it has to have three arches, three bumps. So 1, 2, 3, that's good. So maybe it'll look something like that. Okay, so now let's see if we can determine them. If I have an extra fourth there, we haven't really seen how you can solve a quartic one. But if you look at it and say, well, that sort of looks like a quadratic, it's just that this number and this number are doubled. So maybe what I could do is just split this one in half. So call it x squared here, call it x squared there, and then do my usual thing. What multiplies to 19 adds to 11? 9 and 2, right? So 9 and 2. This sign is positive, so they both have to have the same sign, and they both have to be negative. So negative 9 times negative 2 is a positive 18. Negative 9 plus a negative 2 is a negative 11. So there we go. So let's equate it to 0, and then we can determine the zeros. So I have x squared minus 9 equals 0, or x squared minus 2 is equal to 0. Now these aren't linear functions, they're quadratics, but notice there's no x term. So I could add 9 to both sides. You see where I'm going with that? And then I'll use the square root property. So it'll be, so x squared equals 9. So I'll square root this side, remembering to put a plus or minus on this one. So this cancels to be an x is equal to a plus or minus, square root of 9 is 3. So there's two of my zeros. I have a plus 3 and a minus 3. Same game with this one. Unfortunately, you can't take the square root of 2, but it's not a complex number or an imaginary number. Square root of 2 is like 1 point something or other. So it'll probably have a crossing. So the question just says, what are the zeros? So if they say, what are the zeros, I would say my answers to that would be the zeros are 3, negative 3, a positive root 2, and a negative root 2. Now, just for fun, they didn't ask you to do it. Maybe they would, I don't know. But let's graph that. I'm just going to do a quick little graph. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to see how good I am. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, right there, something happens. Root 2 is like 1 point something. So negative 1 point something, positive 1 point something. So if I try and do this to it, the graph should look something like that. Now, I also could have said, well, this is plus 18, so that point right there would cross at plus 18. If I wanted to plug a 2 in, I could figure out what f of 2 is. Oh, this one over here on that side. And I could put a 2 in everywhere I see an x. 11 times 2 squared plus 18. Let's just figure out what that is. 16. 2 squared is 4. Times 11 is minus 44 plus 18. So that's 34, so that'd be minus 10, I think. So at my, oh, this is 2, sorry. Oh, it won't matter, but if this is 2, then down here, that the depth of that, or how low it would go down to a minus 10. So that point 2 minus 10 is a point that's right there that's on the curve. Okay, I was going to graph it though. Let's do our decimals thing. Browser, graphing calculator, perfect. So I have y equals x to the fourth, there's a 4, go over, minus 11x squared, go over, plus 18. There we go. Okay, let me shrink this a little bit. There. So that's what our graph is going to look like. And notice that at Gee, did I figure that out right? Because I said at 2 it was at minus 10. Maybe I did some calculating wrong there. Let me go this way. Did I type so? Oh, that's why. There's just a 1 there. It should be an 18. Whew, I thought I was doing something wrong there. So yeah, notice right there, y-intercept is a plus 18. Our points right there are 1 point something, and this one crosses at 3, negative 1 point something, negative 3, and that lowest point there is, oh, I don't know if it's the lowest point, but the point that I got was 2. Guess it's not the lowest point, and negative 10. That's a point that's on the graph. All right, hopefully that helps you with that one.